In June 1962, 3 inmates pulled off what remains the most legendary prison break in American history. Frank Morris and brothers John and Clarence Anglen were locked inside Alcatraz, the island prison in San Francisco Bay, considered impossible to escape from. Surrounded by freezing water, strong currents, and constant surveillance, no one had ever successfully broken out and survived. But these 3 men had a plan. Using sharpened spoons and homemade tools, they spent months secretly digging through the crumbling concrete at the back of their cells, widening small vents just enough to crawl through. To hide their work from nightly guard checks, they covered the holes with cardboard grates and painted them to match the walls. On the night of the escape, they left behind eerily realistic dummy heads in their beds, sculpted from soap, toilet paper, and real human hair collected from the prison barber shop. Once through the vents, they climbed to the roof, slid down a pipe, and reached the shoreline. There, they launched a raft they had built themselves out of stolen raincoats, sealed and inflated using a concertina they had turned into a makeshift pump. Then they paddled out into the dark, freezing waters of the bay and disappeared into the night. The next morning, guards discovered the empty cells and immediately raised the alarm. A massive manhunt followed, involving the FBI, the Coast Guard, and search teams combing the surrounding coastline for days. Some debris was found floating in the water, but no bodies ever surfaced. Officially, the FBI closed the case, concluding all 3 men drowned in the bay's brutal currents. But the story didn't end there. Decades later, a letter surfaced claiming to be from John Anglen himself, stating that all 3 men survived the escape and lived for years under new identities. To this day, no one has ever proven definitively whether they died in the water that night or pulled off the impossible and beat Alcatraz.